Today, we're going to be breaking down Shelby Sap's $450,000 per month estimated coaching business, full breakdown of her funnel, her traffic with her content, how she nurtures that traffic, and how she converts that traffic with a webinar funnel, and how she provides value through her coaching program. Now, before we get into it, my name is Chor. I've generated multiple six figures, up to seven figures for coaches and online coaches. You can see some screenshots here for Ryan. We helped him hit his record month after like a little bit over 30 days working with me. He hit his record month of 75K, 54K days in like 10 days, 100K months, another 100K month in 30 days for John, a wholesale offer, and then a trading offer as well. And then these are some e-com offers. We had some 10.8 ROAS for one of my clients, Zach. So enough of the screenshots. Let's get straight into the funnel. Now, just a quick overview of her funnel. She has her top of funnel, which she uses Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, which funnels into middle of funnel content where she nurtures them with her short form content mainly. And then they become leads. And then this is in the bottom of funnel where they convert through a webinar funnel and then they become clients. Okay. So this is our main funnel that we use on this channel. Now, let's do a little bit of market dig for herself. Now, her offer is high ticket sales coaching. Her audience specifically is women, probably the ages between 18 to 35, right? She's targeting all the college students all the way to probably remote girls, right? Who are probably like 9 to 5 girls who are already working in sales or who want to transition into sales. Her marketing branding is like this girl boss, this girl boss persona where she's like more of that alpha woman and she's really trying to empower other women to, change their lives and really level up in life. So her transformation that she is helping her ICP, her audience, go through is this. So in point A, the current situation of her ideal audience is maybe like a broke college student, right? And you can see here in her transformation story, I was your typical sorority college girl. And then she transformed into this girl who has a Porsche, nice dress, and she's going to fancy dinners, luxurious lifestyle. So that's the transformation that she's selling. And the current situation for point A, which her audience is in right now, is that they're either stuck in a 9 to 5, they're a college student, maybe a sorority girl as well. Of course, I have to add the fact that they are women. They have no financial or location freedom. They're stressed out. They're stuck in this rat race. They're capped at their 9 to 5 jobs, and they have a boring life. So this is the current situation of her audience, and the desired situation of her audience is point B, which is making probably 10 to 15K per month with high ticket sales, having location and financial freedom. They can travel around the world, and she always does this. She goes to Pilates, matcha. She drinks matcha, and she has her own Porsche, right? This is like the luxury dream life that she really sells for her audience. So she's selling this stress-free lifestyle that's fun, exciting, luxurious, and yeah. And of course, the vehicle that is going to take her audience from point A to point B is going to be high ticket sales, which is what she is selling right now. So this is a bit of market dig. This is exactly what I do with my clients as well whenever they onboard. Now, this is really important to get to know your audience so that you know how to create your content and how to actually convert your content and hit specific, pain points and hit specific pain points and specific dream outcomes so that you know how to actually, maximize the potential of your leads and convert them. Because if you know your audience's pain points more than they know it and you can describe it to them better than they can describe it themselves, you have literally sold them. Okay. So traffic, her main traffic sources are Instagram and TikTok. So let's have a look at her bio real quick. This is the right color. Okay. So her bio, super optimized, is really good. She has her name. Her username is really good. There's no numbers or whatever, some weird name. Number 1 female sales trainer. So immediately you know what she does. Number 1 largest sales academy for women. Okay, trustworthy. She is proof. You can find out her academy right here. There's a lot of proof, authority, and then there is a call to action, right? Call to action to her webinar, right here. So this is a perfect bio that a lot of you coaches, you guys can copy. TikTok, she just has her webinar. Okay. Here, I would probably funnel into her Instagram as well. That's the only change I would make. And then once you funnel into Instagram, they can watch more content, right? Highlights. Let's have a look at her highlights. She has student wins. So you can see student wins here to really just give her more authority and probably give her like audience some FOMO, right? Fear of missing out on the wins and the lifestyle. It's kind of funny because yesterday, second offer, see, they're getting onboarded to different offers. I can feel those 30K months running into my arms at this point, right? This is some insane FOMO that you don't want to miss out on 30K months. Okay. So yeah, keep up the hard work, ladies. It will pay off. Yeah. And of course, this is her community. Now, student wins. She Sells is her academy. So this is the coaching program that she's selling. And you can see right here, if you go through that story, she is selling her webinar, her live training, right? This is basically a webinar that's framed as like free training that women can go to learn more about high ticket sales. Yeah, but obviously in the back end she's trying to upsell her audience into a program. Now, this is more of She Sells, and of course, she's really showing that community. And this is really important because as humans, we all want to be connected. That's just basic human psychology. And she's just showing that by joining her academy, people can have a sense of connection with other people who are like-minded and who are also wanting the same things, who are also wanting the same dream outcome, right here. So last thing is Q&A. So this is a really good highlight as well for Q&A because it really handles a lot of questions that people may have, like what is high ticket sales? What are, like, is it possible? Like, answer a lot of questions and a lot of doubts that people have. And yeah, that's just what she does there. So that's very good for highlights. Let me see if there's anything I can improve. Highlights. I think it's good. For this one. Pin post. So in her pin post, she has a transformation story. Basically, in this transformation pin reel, she is telling her story, how she went from a broke sorority college girl into a girl that has everything she wants and making at least 20, 30, 40, 50K per month with high ticket sales. Okay. So this will get people to know who she is. Her second pin post was a authority and value driven reel, which basically builds her more trust and authority, right? She is explaining how to handle objections, and she's really smooth with it here. She's good. I was a high ticket sales rep. She is okay in how she handles objections, but it's the way she frames it that a lot of people really do enjoy watching. Obviously, she's in her Porsche as well, so that definitely gives her a lot of authority there. Last thing is, this is like a funny reel, I think, just to show off her personality, how she is as a person, how she is as a coach, to really just attract people to like her. So the 3 pin posts here has 3 objectives, 3 outcomes. People get to know her, like her, and trust her more. And in order for people to buy your program, you need these 3 things, and these are very important. In her general post, one thing I would change about this is she doesn't have pin post in her general. This is only for her reels. As you can see here, in her post, she doesn't have pin post. In your pin post, in your coaching program or in your Instagram profile, what I would do is your transformation pin post. Your second could be overcoming a challenge. And then your third one should be celebrating a win. And yeah, celebrating a win. And or you can also explain your service. So I would overcoming a challenge, explaining a win. Yeah, here I would actually replace this. Actually, scrap this. I would explain your service. Explain service, like what you do, basically. So I do high ticket sales. What is high ticket sales, right? I would explain everything there, either on a post or a reel. So explain service, overcoming a difficult challenge that you went through, and then a transformation. All of these at the end of the video or at the end of the captions, you should have a CTA to either keep watching the reels or maybe do a webinar, go through the webinar. So short form content. So let's analyze her short form content. So in a lot of her short form content, there's mainly 3 types of content that she posts, which is value, proof, lifestyle / flex, and also connection. So in her so by the way, she posts 3 to 4 times a day, which is great. And she's very consistent with it. In her value posts, really what she's doing here is she's just giving a lot of value up front without asking for anything back. And this is really important for creating content as a coach because, with the law of reciprocity, people generally want to give back when they receive a lot of value, right? So if you want your students to give back to, if you want your audience to give back to you financially, right? You want them to join your program, you have to give a lot of value upfront without expecting anything back. Second thing is proof lifestyle. So this is really just FOMO. She's just exposing her lifestyle. She's traveling to Alaska on a helicopter. She's, in Marbella. She's in Europe traveling. She has a Porsche. She's really just flexing her lifestyle to show you that there's a lot of things that you're missing out on by not joining high ticket sales. And then last thing is connection. There's a lot of raw video that she posts, which are just like talking head videos where you really just get to know her more as a person, like generally like as a person. And people really like that because it's just raw. Like like in 2025, there's so many gurus and coaches out there that are not really who they say they are. So by shooting these raw talking head videos, you really get to know her personality, her values, and that just gets you to like her more if her personality attracts you. So all of this short form content is really just to nurture them. So as you guys can see in your middle of funnel, this is really just to nurture them more, so that eventually you can book into her webinar funnel and convert. Okay, so that is her short form content. Let's dive into long form content now. Her long form content on YouTube is, I'm gonna say it, bro. It's ass. Like she could be making so much more money if she would keep posting. And yeah, I know she's making a lot of money now, but she could make even way more. Like she's posted 3 videos so far on her YouTube. At least she's posted, which is good, because without these videos, she probably wouldn't even be making this much like right now. And I really want to highlight this rule, which is a 7-11-4 rule. And that's probably why she has at least 3 videos up on her YouTube, because I want to stress the importance of long form. It is so important for your audience to watch 7 hours of your content with 11 touch points, interactions across 4 different platforms. Right now she has Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well, and probably her SMS and her emails. So it qualifies for the 7-11-4 rule. This is the rule created by Google, for which your audience will convert. So if you want people to buy from you, you need to fulfill this rule, 7-11-4 rule. So you can't really fulfill 7 hours of content, like just from like 40 to 50-second reels. So it is really important to have long form content for people to watch you for an extended amount of time so that they can know, like, and trust you more. So as I said, the weakness here is just her volume. And even in her videos, her descriptions, there's no descriptions. There's no CTAs in her descriptions to book a call or join the webinar funnel, or at least like text her something on Instagram, right? To ask her more questions. This is what I would change. Yeah, in terms of content that she can post, lifestyle, value, proof content, always, this really just revolves around these 3 things, right? Her lifestyle could be her traveling in Europe, just flexing, right? Flexing her lifestyle. And yeah, basically what she's doing right here, right? Travel with me, POV, you made 40,000 per month in high ticket sales, and now you're traveling around the world, right? Those type of content. Value could be this: how to handle objections, how to pre-handle objections, how to master your sales calls, 2-hour-long training on how to close your first high ticket sales, like things like that. Just giving value upfront, wherever you can, to solve different pain points. So depending on her audience right now, I think in terms of value, since she is targeting like more of that sorority girl, like she's not really targeting people who are already working a job, she could definitely lean more into just lifestyle content and proof. Yeah, and connection content, and maybe a bit less of value, I would say. But she can definitely still post some value, to just nurture those people. Now, the reason I say that is because with value, it works. It works really well for like B2B. For B2C, it definitely works well too. What she could do is probably like post like sales calls, which is basically proof. Because if she goes in depth into her training, into her sales training, like these sorority girls, they have no idea what she's talking about. Like if she starts like pre-handling objections, she starts going through like different sales tactics. These girls don't know what she's talking about. Like they are not aware. They're not really aware of what to do because they're not in sales yet. Like she is targeting a specific audience that hasn't been in sales, that are making that transition, and she's helping them make that transition into high ticket sales. So in terms of value, there's a bit less of an importance there, but I would say more proof. Like high ticket sales calls, maybe live sales calls, live coaching could be really well. So live coaching as well. Live coaching with her and her She Sells Academy. Goal here, yeah, the goal of having long form content is really to build sales assets that you can use later on in sales calls, in your bottom of funnel, so that you can convert. Like you can just nurture people who didn't close maybe on your sales calls, and just really just email everyone who opts in to your ecosystem. Nurture attention from Instagram, right? You can get people to know, like, and trust you more by watching more of your content in long form, and also fulfilling the 7-11-4 rule. Now let's go to after traffic. So we see how we see how her content is now, and we can go to converting that content, converting those traffic into paying customers. So she converts, her main platform for converting people is stories, reels, and bio. So in her stories and her reels, she always in her description, like 80% of the time, she basically sells her masterclass, her Zoom masterclass, on how to get into high tech sales and start building real freedom, right? Want to start making money online? This is your sign. So this is where she is trying to introduce her audience to her webinar funnel, her weekly webinar funnel. And July 8th, so right now it's Sunday, so it is every Tuesday. Basically, she hosts it every Tuesday. And in her bio, she also has this class, webinar sign up. Now, all of this goes to her ManyChat automation, not this bio, but not this bio, but when people comment sales, like a keyword on her reels or even in her DMs, it goes to a ManyChat automation where she will send you in the DMs a link to her free masterclass website. So this is where you can sign up. This basically goes to her main webinar funnel, which is hosted on ClickFunnels, and this is her website. Okay, this is her entire website. I'm going to break it down for you. So on the top, she has a timer, which just builds more urgency to book a masterclass, to book for the masterclass. And then you can see how to step into high ticket sales. This is what she does with Shelby Sap, save my free spot. So this is a CTA, very clear. So that's good. Towards desire. Okay, so now she's explaining what you're going to learn in the masterclass. And here in these points, she's really targeting people's desire. So you can see like who crave control over their life. This opportunity is changing the new age of sales. My framework, why now is the best time. And this is where she really goes into the urgency, right? She is telling her audience why now is the best time to take action. But yeah, she's really like targeting people's people motivation, because people are motivated by two things, right? They either are motivated towards their desires, or they're motivated by running away from the pain. So now she is calling out her audience. So if this is for you, if you're sick and tired of your 9-to-5 job, again, a lot of pain point, want to start earning without a degree. So this is like easy. She's making it sound very easy. Want to learn a new skill and be part of a community. She is tapping into her audience's like sense of like community, like sense of connection, need of connection, right? And then you want to work from anywhere under terms as desire. So she has pain, want to learn without a degree, easy, anything, make it sound easy. You want to learn a new skill, be part of community. So community, just like human psychology. And then the last one is desire. This is not you. This is where she disqualifies her audience, right? Get rich quick scheme. She's really setting expectations straight from here. You don't want to put in the work. Women who don't want to be part of community, who aren't ready to invest into themselves. So this is where she kind of qualifies people here a little bit. Women who aren't committed to changing their life, right? Here you can see this is woman. Women who aren't committed to changing their lives. She's wanting committed people. Okay, and this is like an about her page, right? Just gets to know her more a little bit. And just this page is just beautifully crafted. Like it is very nice looking. So well done. Now, a pop-up will show up immediately after you go into the website. After like 5 seconds, there's a pop-up for you to sign up already. So immediately, without you even scrolling through all that, you're just urged to sign up, which is good. So full name, address, and phone number, possibly a setter might dial you in the future, and then email for, different value emails that she might give you, and of course your name. The post-booking process here, the goal here is to warm the leads up. So warm all these people who sign up before the webinar so that you can maximize, first of all, maximize the show up rate, maximize people actually showing up on the webinar, and also converting them, right? So converting them into high ticket clients. So after you book in for the webinar, there's a thank you page. And in the thank you page, she has, in this little video, she has high energy. She's telling you to take it seriously, grab a pen and paper, have questions, have fun. Girls bringing the caffeine. She really knows how to talk to her ICP, right? And that's really good. And that's really why it's so important to know exactly who your ICP is. This hour will change your life-changing, everything about high ticket sales. So she's explaining the model and what it's about, everything you need to know to get into it. 30 minutes question and answer. Don't miss this class. Add the event to your calendar. Check your email for updates. This is really important because now she's going to send a lot of educational content. She's going to send a lot of educational content through the emails. So I broke down the emails for you. You're in, babe. She says this is the confirmation email, and this is the welcome email to the webinar. You really did that. You see a lot of emojis. She knows how to talk to her ICP, and that's really important. Engagement email 3 minutes after. Yep, so 3 minutes after, she sent another engagement email. What did she say? She's increasing engagement by telling you, she was asking her audience to message her to have one burning question about high ticket sales. Whatever it is, I want to know, okay? It invites people to reply to the email so that she can also give you in return for some value, right? Again, law of reciprocity shown here. So when you do reply, so I did reply, and she gave me a lead magnet. Basically what lead magnet is, it is a resource that you can give to your audience to basically warm them up even more, like get them more aware about your solution and also get them to trust you more. Okay, it builds more trust right here. So you can see this is a guide for women, hot girl sales mindset. Wow. Okay. So, throughout this whole lead magnet, she's just building more trust, getting people to be more aware of her solution of high ticket sales. So, and you can see that she's just really smart with it. She's telling you that, you need to build a supportive community or network. You need to find a mentor. You need to join a community. And guess who's the mentor? Of course, is going to be Shelby. And guess who has a community? of course, Shelby has a community as well. Okay. Really just warming people up to show up to the webinar, trust her more, like her more, and see her as really the authority, right? So after that, typically what would happen is like a mini VSL, so a 10 to 15 minute long video, her telling her who she is, proof that she's done this, calling out her audience again. Her mini VSL, by the way, guys, is like a video sales letter, and that's what it stands for. And these are the topics, right, within the video sales letter. Proof, her story, her mechanism, which is high ticket sales, her step-by-step journey that happened for herself through high ticket sales, how she got into it, stuff like that, her program, and CTA. So this one does not actually apply to her. However, this usually applies to all the other coaches because it applies to other funnels that are not a webinar, okay? But since she has a webinar, her webinar is basically a mini VSL. Now, automated text and email reminders. So after you book into your webinar, you're gonna have a lot of reminders, emails and texts. Texts are just to remind you to show up, that's it. However, emails are really important because they educate the person. They pre-handle objections. It could be fear, it could be uncertainty, it could be value, right? And throughout all these emails, this is where you educate them. In one of these emails, you can also have client wins. So client wins is very important. Client wins, where you show off some of your client, where she shows off some of her clients' success stories. So all this to do is to help increase show up rates so that people can actually show up to the webinar. And yeah, so at the live webinar, this is what it looked like. She tells her story, how she made that transformation from a sorority girl, so from point A to point B, the struggles she went through in the current state. Really, she is just trying to get her audience to resonate with her. She's highlighting how painful her audience's situation right now is. Like how painful their point A is right now. Like by telling her story, she is letting her audience feel that same pain point within themselves. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So she is really trying to twist that knife deep into her audience, right? Second 9 to 5 woman, no financial location freedom. She was stressed out. And then when she says all this about herself, then her audience will be like, huh, that's exactly what I'm going through, right? I'm stuck in the rat race. I'm capped. I have a boring life. I'm stressed out, right? So that's what she's trying to do. She pre-handles some objections, right? Oh, what is sales? Is salesy like this pushy tactic, right? She's trying to break some beliefs and reframe her audience like mind and shifting their beliefs to the beliefs that she needs them to have in order to buy her program, right? She's shifting her beliefs, shifting their beliefs, and then she introduces her program. And then this is very interesting. She does a mindset exercise where she tells everyone to close their eyes and to future pace. And then she future pace. What this means is that she is telling her audience to imagine their dream reality. And then she brings them back to reality. Look, reality check. You can't expect a different result if you keep doing the same thing. You don't deserve to, okay? So this is really smart. She's really playing them emotionally, like in terms of like a sales call, in terms of like influencing them to like join her program, basically. So, and then she handles some frequently asked questions. She goes through student wins, and then she does a Q&A, okay? So that's what her webinar funnel looks like. Now, after, like on the webinar call, like at the very end, she prompts her audience to apply for her coaching, okay? So this is an on-webinar call funnel, and in the application, you can see, you can qualify them financially, qualify them urgency, qualify the urgency, and qualify the demand, okay? So how much do you have to invest? Are you wanting to start high ticket sales now instead of later? And then qualify demand, like what is your motivation for joining high ticket sales? Are you motivated? Okay, so this application qualifies for these 3 things. And then after you get qualified, you book a call with one of her advisors, which is basically a closing call with a closer. Okay, so in the pre-call flow, after you book in a call, You get emails and text reminders. Same thing with the webinar funnel, right? As you guys saw here. You confirm, yeah, they get a confirmation text and email, and then you send some sales assets. So this is where I was gonna say, like your YouTube channel right here, if you post more, you can send a lot more sales assets and you can get a way higher closing rate and show rates to your closing calls. And then of course you can also manually confirm by the closer to show up to the call. And then of course, once they close, onboard them. If they don't show up or they don't close, you nurture them long-term with their email sequences, and then you can also have your setter dial, okay, the no-shows, to get them back on the calendar and then close again, okay? So that's really how her funnel works. I believe last step is her value, right? What is she actually offering? I believe she has one offer at 2 proximity levels, one at 5K and one at 10K, okay? At the 5K, she has a course. She has weekly group coaching calls with her and her coaches, probably like at least 3 times per week. And then she has a 10K upsell course, weekly group coaching call with her and her coaches, and they have more proximity with her, which is a one-on-one access to Shelby, whether through text, whether through group coaching, or whether through direct one-on-one coaching calls, okay? And they also get placed to a high ticket sales offer. Now, she can keep upselling to masterminds. So events, invite them to yachts and dinners, etc., okay? So that's basically a full breakdown of Shelby Sap's entire funnel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.